Hey everybody, we are here with Richard Rosenfeld from the House of Parfums de Marly, one of my favorite houses, 10 fragrances from the house and counting. And we're going to do a short interview just so we can get a better understanding of the nuances of the House of Parfums de Marly. How are you doing today, Rich?
Good, thanks Ronnie. Nice to meet you.
Good, good, good. So first off, Rich, what brought you to the House of Parfums de Marly? Out of all the other houses that seems to pop up every other week in the world.
I have to tell you, I think it's luck. I think I got the luckiest job in the world. I am so fortunate to be here. I did have other opportunities, and I could not be happier that this is where I landed.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. One, this is an amazing house that seems to expand all the time. My first question in a lot of my first question in a long line of questions here is, will y'all ever come out with a fragrance that has a predominant liqueur note, like a cognac, like a brandy?
That's a great idea. So the answer is possibly. I know the owner and founder of the company, Mr. Julian Sprecher, has inspiration from many different areas to try and think of how his genius mind works. One of the interesting things about how Julian works is he comes up with inspirations, and he doesn't necessarily worry about each ingredient as much as his inspiration. Is his idea, is his concept being answered? So I'm sure as he develops his collection, it will evolve into a liqueur-like. I know we have some notes that are cognac-based, so I would think that it's only a logical extension of the collection.
That does make sense. That does make sense. It seems like right now in the fragrance community, the big thing is those liqueur notes, that bourbon vanilla, that in-your-face, that punchiness, that strength over strength over strength.
Right.
And
so in that, actually, we have Althair, which does have that bourbon vanilla. One of the things that we are so proud of is the sourcing of our ingredients. As many as we can, we are looking for the finest ingredients that we can buy anywhere in the world. So like our bourbon vanilla in Althair, that comes from Madagascar. And Madagascar as a country, we think, produced the finest vanilla available anywhere. And what's really interesting about it is you can't buy vanilla normally in Madagascar because there are no bees there. So we actually employ people to hand pollinate all the vanilla pods to produce that luxurious bourbon vanilla. And we're really proud of it. And we do those kinds of things throughout the world to source the finest ingredients, whether it's bergamot from Italy or spearmint from Oregon or a vetiver from, the islands. We are trying always to go back to the roots of Parfum de Marly, where, that sourcing the finest ingredients is so critical.
that's one thing that I do love about Parfums de Marly as a house, is that you can actually smell the quality in your fragrances.
It's true.
For example, you have Ojon that a lot of people say leans that, I'm not gonna call any other brands out, but it leans a lot of that apple pie, that cinnamon, rounded fragrance. And the people here know what I mean by the apple pie, what people go after. But the good thing about how y'all doing is that y'all still keep a masculine touch to it. Y'all still make sure that it doesn't come off as a scented candle when it comes to y'all's fragrances on Ojon.
It's true. That's an easy way to sort of cheapen the brand. We always want to portray that luxury, and there's a fine line. And I think that's, again, where Julian's nose is, he's so talented. To give him the phrase genius is underrating his ability. He loves to take those inspirations throughout the whole world and all the different scents and lend it to a luxury vibe. To make it feel like a scented candle would downgrade that experience. So he sits there and goes, no, I understand where we're going, but I want more of a gourmand experience. And he works so hard on that. Some of these fragrances take him 2, 3, 4 years to round out, where if it's not right, he won't do it. And again, that goes back to his genius.
And we can definitely tell here, me personally, the geniusness in his fragrance. for example, when it comes to fragrances like Althair, which I have on now, you can smell the the modification as it goes down the notes. You get that top note, that little bit of that apple, but it's not like Granny Smith sweetness that goes into the oud that still stays fresh.
It's true.
It's not as in your face of an oud as like the sister brand as Initio, but it still has enough oomph and enough class that you can wear it more than just in those colder months.
It's so true, and you're so well educated in this. One of the other things that are so important to Julian is an olfactive experience. So anybody can create just a vanilla, right? And many companies do a really nice job. But he wants it to be an olfactive experience. From the top notes, the heart, and the base, he wants you to evolve with it, whether it's you during the day or it's a different day, whether it's a different mood. He doesn't want just a straightforward. He wants complexity. He wants a juxtaposition. And again, with the Haltan, he does such a beautiful job with that bright citrus opening, and then it warms up to the oud, and then the saffron, and you know the other elements of it. You're going through a journey, and I think again he does it such a wonderful job with it.
You know what? And I can really smell the heart, pretty much the feeling into every single fragrance. Every fragrance is not coming off just as a generic copy of something else.
Right.
Everything is a little bit unique and bring a lot of experiences.
Correct.
So, and if you don't know, that's fine. This is kind of like a deep psych kind of question. There's a lot of fragrances that come with the house.
Yep.
Some that are exclusive to other places. Do you believe that there will be a day where the U.S. market gets all of the royal essence, even though it is a little bit different? There have been other brands that have brought a lot of their Middle Eastern UAE feel over here to the Americas. Yep. Do you think that there will ever be a day where y'all get to that point?
I think it's entirely possible. You know, I mean, as national sales director, I'm involved in some of the discussions, but ultimately it's, you know, the vision of the founder and the vision of, you know, our leadership of what's the journey. But ultimately, we want to listen to the consumer, right? If the consumer is asking for it, we'll find a way to bring it to them, as long as whatever we're doing is true to the brand. We never want to tarnish the brand. We just want to have that luxury feeling. So if there are any of the scents that we have throughout the world that could work and they're still appropriate for our DNA, I'm sure they'll consider it.
Awesome. So final question.
Sure.
It may have a follow-up depending on how you answer. So if you had 4 notes.
4 notes. Okay.
4 notes. 5 was a little bit too much, so I'm down to 4. If you had 4 notes for your perfect fragrance.
Oh, Lord.
I know.
That's tough.
It doesn't matter what's heart, base, or top. Just 4 notes for your perfect fragrance. Your 4 notes.
Okay, so I have to start with vanilla. To me, vanilla is the rich, the heart, the warmth. It makes me happy. It embraces all of my moods. So I have to start with vanilla. 2, rose, right? I think some people think, oh, I'm not a rose person. But I don't think people understand how much and how important rose is in so many of our different fragrances, like the Queen Delina, or you know, some of the heart in some of the other collections. I personally wear Delina. I love Delina. I wear it on its own. I wear it as a layer. I think any citrus, to me, like in Perseus, the grapefruit in there is so enlivening. It is bright, it's fresh, it changes my mood, it makes me happy immediately. So I would love that. And let's see, and oud, right? Oud to me is this dark, mysterious, there's this warmth again to it, but it puts me in a special mood where I feel like I can conquer the world. So now, I've given you those 4 ingredients. I have no idea how they would work, but that's why I don't create fragrance. You know, again, go back to Julian. That's where his genius comes in, where he can find a way to mix all of these different natural ingredients and make magic happen. So, yeah, that's why he's the king.
Well, I thank you for spending some time here with everybody here on the channel. I really do appreciate the insight a little bit deeper into what the house actually means going forward. And I hope to see a lot more. If I can put one on my wish list.
Please.
Smoky.
Smoky, okay.
Smoky. If you can get some type of smoky fragrance, I'm a sneak easy guy myself.
Okay.
So some type of smoky with some tobacconess, maybe some incense, something in that dark range.
Okay. So
that'd be great.
Check this space in about a year. We're going to be coming out with some surprises that I think you're going to be really, really happy with.
Y'all heard it first. There's a little bit of an inside, but he didn't want to give too much. I'm not going to push. Not going to push. But I really do appreciate the interview.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
And thank you for allowing us.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you so
terrific.
much.